All right, let's dive into a pretty powerful idea, one that might just change the way you look at your life's biggest goals. We're going to talk about the very nature of happiness and, a really common trap that almost all of us fall into at some point.
So, I want you to just take a second and picture that one big thing you're chasing. You know the one. The thing you believe will finally solve everything. Maybe it's the perfect body, the dream job, or total financial freedom. Got it? Okay. Now, what if that exact thing you're chasing?
I mean, what if that target you've been aiming at for years is just a mirage? It's a heavy question, I know, but it's the central idea we're going to unpack. And we're drawing on some serious wisdom from someone who spent literally decades figuring this out so we don't have to. Okay, so this whole thing really starts with a very common, very human mindset. It's a pattern of thinking that's so universal, you've probably said it to yourself 1,000 times without even noticing. We call it the happy when trap. This phrase right here, this is the mantra of postponed joy. It's this idea that our happiness is conditional, right? That it's something that lives in the future, just over the horizon, right after we hit that next big milestone. Sound familiar? I bet it does. It usually sounds something like this. Oh, I'll be happy when I lose the weight, or I'll finally feel good about myself when I get that promotion. My life will be complete, when I find a partner. We do this all the time. We attach our sense of worth to these external things, believing they hold the magic key to our contentment. So what happens when you actually get there? What happens when you achieve the thing you were so sure would make you happy? Well, a lot of the time, the result is this profound, kind of hollow sense of emptiness. Let's look at a couple of really powerful examples of this. Okay, take the pursuit of fame. As a kid, the logic seems so simple. If I'm famous, everyone will pay attention to me, and that means everyone will love me, and then I'll finally be happy. But as so many people who've actually achieved it will tell you, the reality is often just hollow. That external validation, it doesn't fill the internal void. Because the real goal was never the fame itself. It was the feeling of being loved and accepted. Or think about the obsession with getting a perfect body. The belief is, no one will ever love me unless I'm thin. But here's the crazy part. Even after getting thin, and even after finding a loving partner, the obsession can stick around. And that just proves the problem was never, ever about the body. It was always a deeper issue of self-love and self-acceptance. Now, let's switch gears and look at this from a completely different and honestly fascinating angle. What can we learn about living a good, long life from the people who have actually, lived the longest? The insight here comes from a really unique place. Over 20 years of experience as a podiatrist working with elderly patients. We're talking people in their 70s, 80s, 90s, and even over 100 years old. This gives us this incredible window into what it truly means to age well, not in terms of wrinkles, but in terms of spirit and genuine contentment. And what became crystal clear over time was this huge difference between two types of people in old age. On one side, you've got the evolving. These are the folks who stay curious, who can laugh at things, who are always focused on growth. Their world stays joyful and big. And on the other side, you've got the devolving. They're stuck complaining, focused on external stuff, like a 92-year-old still worrying about her wrinkles. For them, their world just gets smaller and smaller. And here's the crucial point, the big lesson from all of this. Life is always in motion. You're never just standing still. So if you're not actively growing, learning, and experiencing new things, you are, by default, shrinking. Stagnation just isn't an option. The happiest people get this, whether they realize it or not. Which brings us right to the core aha moment of this whole thing. If the external goals, the fame, the money, the perfect body, if those aren't really the point, then what is? What are we actually after? Here it is. The real goal is never the thing itself. It's the feeling you believe that achieving that thing is finally going to give you. This is the fundamental mistake, the misunderstanding that sits at the very heart of the happiness trap. Seriously, think about it. We're not really chasing a promotion. We're chasing the feeling of validation. We're not chasing a number on a scale. We're chasing a feeling of acceptance. It's not about the $1 million in the bank. It's about the feeling of safety. Every single external goal is just a stand-in, a proxy for an internal state we desperately crave. Let me give you a perfect real-world example. You might think, oh, I'll finally feel safe once my mortgage is paid off. But if you really dig deep, you'll realize that even with a paid-off house, your mind can just find new things to worry about. The bills, the taxes, the roof repair. The underlying fear of scarcity doesn't just vanish with the mortgage payment. The real work is about cultivating that feeling of safety inside yourself. Okay, so if chasing external goals to get a feeling is a trap, then what's the alternative? Well, the answer is to stop outsourcing your feelings. It's to start cultivating them right now, today, in the process of just living your life. This is what true freedom really looks like. It's an internal state, not an external one. It's when someone's opinion doesn't have the power to ruin your day. It's when you can look at your changing body and your aging face in the mirror and feel not just, acceptance, but genuine love. It's when your sense of self is no longer hanging on what the outside world thinks. And the absolute best part is you can start this work today, like right now. You don't have to wait for anything. You can give yourself permission to feel worthy just because you exist. You can choose a mindset of safety, trusting that, things are going to work out. And you can begin the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself, by simply deciding to offer that person unconditional love. You see, this reframes the entire reason for having goals in the first place. The dream isn't about finally reaching the summit. It's about who you become while you're climbing the mountain. The challenges, the setbacks, the little victories, that's the hero's journey. That's life itself. So the final, crucial takeaway is this. Life isn't a dress rehearsal for some future event where you'll finally be allowed to be happy. This is it. The process, the journey, the here and now, that is the destination. So I'll leave you with this. What feeling are you waiting for some external goal to give you, and how can you start giving that exact feeling to yourself right now, today? The choice, as it always is yours.